Kings and queens, your majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Trust you and yours are well and you're loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you my esteemed subscribers. You are loved, celebrated, and of course appreciated. Many thanks to Edward for the super thanks gifted to the channel. Thank you so much. And to all of you who share our videos, who give our videos thumbs up, who leave comments, you are all loved, your majesties. So today, I want us to have some discussion about information that some of you might be aware of and some of you might not be aware of. Recently, it has been confirmed, even as it is, that for the past 4 months, the government of Donald Trump have been forcing the Nigerian government to accept hardened criminals, asylum seekers, to the country. And America at this point is sanctioning in disguise, of course, sanctioning the Nigerian government for refusing these asylum seekers. Now, why is the government of the Nigerian people refusing this request that Donald Trump is making? The reason is simple. Number one, America is saying that the Nigerian people, the Nigerian government should accept these hardened criminals for the fact that these are prisoners from prison. And these are not Africans, these are Venezuelans, prisoners, hardened criminals who have been in prison. Trump wants to pack them from his prison, clean his home, because he sees Africa as a dumping ground. Because I don't see any reason why he might maybe conceive such thought in him, that he's going to push these criminals not to their own country because the Venezuelan government have refused. So he felt that the African countries should be the best place for them to dump. So that was the reason why the Nigerian government said, no, we are not accepting. Number two, that not just accepting these hardened criminals, but giving them citizenship. This is where it gets to something else. You are sending people you feel is not good enough for your nation to another nation, and you are forcing on them that they should not just accept these people, but they should give them citizenship. Where did this happen? Would this happen to any nation apart from nations in the continent of Africa? There's no value for the African life at all. That is why he had made this decision. Him and his cabinet members made this decision to do what they're doing. And it is quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. My joy is that the Nigerian government said no. And why do you think they said no at this point? Because they are aware that the youth, their eyes are open. The eyes of the youths are open and they are monitoring all the movement of the president right now and his cabinet members. He himself is aware that any mistake right now would turn the youth against him. So he is treading with caution. And that is why he's saying no. He will not accept this. For the past 4 months, Donald Trump have been forcing this on the neck of the Nigerian leaders. And since they refuse, he is beginning to sanction them. Now, I want us to listen to this information and we'll take it off from there, Your Majesties.
I see that some of you are mistakenly thinking that the reason why United States banned Nigeria from going to their country or maybe impose some visa restrictions was as a result of President Tinubu's visit to the BRICS conference. That is a completely misconstrued narrative. The truth of the matter is, in this regard, I will actually want to be very maybe I want to comment strongly the stand on Nigerian government on this. Because for the past 4 months, the United States has been demanding Nigeria to accept hardened criminals that are in prison, Venezuelans, to be repatriated back to Nigeria from the US. And when they are repatriated, it's not that they are going to be imprisoned in Nigeria, that Nigeria should give them citizenship, and that they will continue to move freely, even though most of them are drug dealers, hardened international criminals. You know, the US is decongesting its prison, and due to their immigration policies, they are trying to push out all the criminals and, according to them, illegal aliens out of their country. So the Venezuelan government said they are not going to receive Venezuelans in their country. Countries like El Salvador, Najib Bukele decided to receive some of the hardened criminals, right? But then they come to Nigeria and insisted that we too will have to accept criminals in our country. That if you don't do that, they will do two things. Number one, they will impose visa restriction on Nigeria. Number two, they will declare Nigeria as a country of interest within the terrorist list. And that is why you see three critical events took effect I think, in succession. Number one, there was a bishop that was invited from Benue to go to state departments and condemn the act of terrorists. Instead, even though we know that the atrocities committed in Benue, it has to do mostly with the local political actors than real insecurity we think about. But then they decided to do that as a justification. Number two, they also decided to invite some African countries, especially with countries within West African belt, without inviting Nigeria. And you know that no matter how damaged Nigeria is still the most relevant, most stable, most successful West African country. If they don't invite us on the table, it's just obvious bias. Number three, now this visa restriction. So the next thing that is coming is that they will use this justification of that bishop that was invited to go and explain to State Department and some members of Congress about the atrocities being committed against the Christians, even though we know that so many Muslims die more on the atrocities in Nigeria than even Christians. But they are trying to make it like, I know, a religious trouble just to stir conflict and instigate some problems in Nigeria. And that is the basic reason why they now impose this restriction. Now the next thing is to list Nigeria as part of countries of interest in the terror index. That's what they are trying to do. And this is really very, very bad. How do you expect Nigerian government to allow hardened criminals to come into Nigeria? How do you expect us to become a haven for international criminal syndicate to come and live among us as normal citizens? This is wrong. And I really am very proud of Nigerian government for standing firm and refusing to capitulate to the interests of the United States in this regard. Thank you.
All right, Majesties, that's Adamu Garba there analyzing some of these political situations. Like I keep telling you, religion is always a tool that is being used, and they want to turn everything right now. That is in process. It's in process. They want to make it look like it's a religious Muslims killing Christians, Christians killing Muslims. I don't know if you watched the previous video I made about GMO and genocide in Nigeria. West Africa and African countries, they are using the disguise of religion to do all they are doing, because they know that when they say religion, it's going to affect our emotion, and immediately we will act. And we are here killing ourselves. While we are killing ourselves, they are succeeding with the plans that they have. And the painful thing is that most of us do not want to hear this. And then we look at each other, we kill each other because of religion, forgetting that we were Africans before all of this. And, after Nigerians began to look into the issue, and the issue came to light that the United Nations is sanctioning the country because they are forcing hardened criminals on the government, and the government had refused. As expected, the United States denied that they requested Nigeria to accept Venezuelans, and that they are not sanctioning Nigeria because they refuse the Venezuelans. They are sanctioning Nigeria because it is the right thing to do. And we are all aware that they are just trying to make this whole thing look like they are not at fault here. Why? Because the secret is now out. Everybody is aware of this whole thing. Now, the reason why Donald Trump invited these 5 leaders from these 5 African, is it 4 or 5? I think there are 5 leaders from these 5 African countries. We will be delving into that discussion in another video. But I want to draw your mind to this major problem that we have as Africans, as melanated people worldwide, that these people will never value us for who we are. They will never value us. Just imagine that Donald Trump feels like those he had rejected, those he feels like they shouldn't be present in America, should be present in Nigeria, a country in Africa. Just imagine, just the thought of that alone is the audacity for me. Now, why do you think Donald Trump conceived this and he tried to put it to practice, to action? It is because we have sold ourselves even from the beginning. Okay, our leaders have sold us. Our dignity have been robbed on the ground. They do not value us anymore because sometimes we do not value ourselves. We are the cause of our problems. Where you see that we invite our leaders, none of our leaders can prioritize their own nation. They will jump on the invitation. You see them in Europe, they pack our leaders in school buses like sardines. These same leaders are when they're in Africa, they are moving up and down with sirens, expensive cars. When they go to Europe, they pack them in school bus. Do they do this to any other nations in the world? It's only African leaders they do this to. That alone should have sent the message, but no, our leaders keep bowing because of the free money they collect. Our leaders keep robbing our reputation on the ground. And now these people are insulting us and they keep insulting us. This is the reason why Donald Trump have that mind to make the decision that he made. Because they do not value us, they don't even see us as humans. That is why he will decide to pack hardened criminals and dump them in Nigeria. Now, for Donald Trump to have the mind to say, you are not just accepting these citizens, so you will give them citizenship. You are not just accepting these hardened criminals, you will make them Nigerians. This is how Donald view Nigeria. So all Nigerians are drug dealers, drug pushers, hardened criminals to him. Why? Because even the president of Nigeria is being accused of involving in drug dealing. So he feels that sending drug dealers, hardened criminals to Nigeria is there's nothing wrong with it. We are the cause of our problems. We are the cause of our problems. And I'm happy that this time the president of Nigeria made this decision. He stood on his ground. No, I'm not going to accept these people you are sending in because already there's a lot of problem. The president is facing a lot of problem right now in Nigeria. If you ask Nigerians, they will tell you better. The president is facing a lot of problems right now because accepting these people will send a negative message to the youth. And I tell you, when the youth rise up, they will not be able to contend with them. This is the information I felt like, okay, why not I share this with you? Right now, the American government is saying it's not true that they did not ask Nigeria to accept Venezuelans, what do you call them, asylum seekers. That the accusation that Nigeria is bringing up is not true. And this is the same reason and more why Donald invited those African leaders that he invited. But we will deliberate upon that in another video. What do you think about this whole issue? America forcing hardened criminals on Nigeria, and not just forcing hardened criminals on Nigeria to just accept them as asylum seekers, but saying that Nigeria should give this hardened criminal citizenship. But at the end, the Nigerian government said no, that they're not going to accept that. Leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section. I'm going to see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive. Always your majesties. Bye for now.